Hey, what's going on, DDO players? Axel here. So, that hardcore server thing, it's pretty good. It's pretty popular. As you can see right here on the screen, there are a lot of people playing this new server, and I am one of them. I have to say that this is the first thing in many, many years, as I said last video, that has gotten me to want to actually be a VIP. So I'm VIP and I've been playing. I've been playing quite a bit. I have my first character. I leveled up to level 5 and I'm kind of just parking him there for now. I think I'm going to create a second character. But yeah, it's really fun and it's really refreshing. The server itself, it did a lot of things for the player base that we haven't really ever seen. First of all, here's the thing about DDO is it's a game that has a lot of grind in it. And I think that's what causes certain player, that of course is what causes certain players to get burnt out. And this server presents a new challenge where there's no grind. Everyone is starting on the same foot. That's one of the problems with starting a new character fresh nowadays. Is I personally, I go to do it, I'm like, well, wait, to make this character decent, I have to level up to 30. I have to grind out epic destinies. I have to maybe do past lives. I have to get all kinds of gear. I'm going to be behind even on basic, twink gear that we all keep for granted, like green steel clickies and stuff. I'm going to have to do everything from scratch, and it's just not worth it for me sometimes when I think about that. And that's what causes me to not create alts. But when we have this new server, all of a sudden everybody is sitting on the same starting line, and it doesn't matter that you don't have past lives because you aren't starting behind. So I think that's one of the things that's great about the server. It incentivizes players to actually start a new character from scratch, and it doesn't feel like a waste. Starting a new brand new first life character is not a waste, and that's awesome. And I think that's credit to it not just being a new server, but also the 90-day format. So if this comes back again, which I think it probably for sure will, since it's been a big success with the players, it seems, at least in this first week. I mean, this server is super populated. Looking at Korthos, we haven't seen Korthos look this populated in a long, long time. So that's awesome. I mean, this is something the server has done right. The death list that appears on the world announcements up top has been really fun. Some people have told me that they actually intended it to be level 10 and over. I hope they kind of keep it where it's at, where it shows almost everybody that dies except for level 1s. And it could be even cooler if they improve it from there and we could show exactly how the person died or the quest the person died in. That would be really cool. I even floated an idea in Lamania forums where, hey, if you can, let's put like a little tombstone where the person died. Nothing too interactive, just something like a tombstone that would show where the person, the character name, and where exactly in the quest they died. Obviously, this probably can't happen from a technical standpoint because DDO is an instance game, but it'd be cool. But yeah, I think that's a really cool concept. The challenge of not dying has been surprisingly interesting for me because while I don't really the idea of my character dying, I haven't had a character die yet on the server. I've been playing pretty safe, but the idea of a character dying is not something that appeals to me. It's going to suck when it happens, and it will happen because I plan to keep playing, and it's eventually going to happen. And when it happens, that's going to suck. But what's cool is how the concept of having only one life changes how you play. All of a sudden, things that were not scary at all before are suddenly terrifying. Like traps on the server are absolutely horrifying now. And that's not something that I've ever been scared of as a player because, let's be honest, death in DDO, your character dying on the normal server, almost usually is not a big deal. Like death is not that big a deal. Almost everyone has every character basically has a way to raise you if they want. I mean, if nothing else, you have green steel clickies or UMD raise scrolls or something. So it's very easy for your party to raise you. So one death is not even an issue. There's a lot of traps, for example, which you could just like die on your way through and just have someone res you on the other side, and it's not a big deal. But when you can only die once, man, does it change how you play. It also has changed the viability of certain characters. All of a sudden, like the War Priest tree, which I love to complain about in many videos in the past, all of a sudden that Divine Intervention in Tier 5 is all of a sudden a pretty great ability. All of a sudden being a healer, which I haven't, my first character has been a warlock. I haven't played like a cleric or healer on the server yet, but I think I might try that for my next character. The idea of being a healer all of a sudden is so much more tense, and that's one of the things I used to like about playing a healer back in the day. Well, at least when people needed healing more in this like raids and things. Although Reaper has brought that back a lot, I have to say. But having that having that stress or being tense is kind of something that gave me a little bit of high, to play as a healer. That's one of the things I liked about it. So having that is really cool to have that back, and I look forward to trying out a cleric, which I think is going to be my next character, maybe a caster cleric or something. I wanted to do a favor soul, but I forgot that those are unlocked by server, so I'll have to go cleric because I don't have it unlocked obviously on the new server, and I haven't bought it. So yeah, so that's really cool. The one other I guess thing that the server has shown us is how awesome it is to have a high population. One thing about DDO is as it's gotten older, it's added more levels, and that it's added Reaper mode, and all this has been great, but it also has spread out the player base a lot more to where a lot of areas of the game are pretty barren on a lot of servers. And I think I personally, while I understand from a technical standpoint, it's probably too high of a hurdle, too high of a challenge. I would like to see some kind of server merge, or if not that, at least some kind of free transfers or some way for the players to consolidate more. But with this new permanent server has shown us is just how awesome it is to have a high density population in a certain level range. Sebion Korthos on the new server is crazy. There's so many players. It's so easy to get a group. You just throw up, hey, elite marketplace quests, elite Korthos. Now, I will say that there are two, I guess, asterisks I have to put on this, is that I do expect the server to become less populated over time. I think a lot of people are trying it out, but I think over the next few weeks, people are going to get sick of getting to level 4, level 5, and dying. So I think that we will see players migrate back to the normal servers, so that may not last as much, but I still think it's going to be easy throughout the whole 90 days really to get groups, because everyone has to start at level 1. Everyone has to start this character from scratch in Korthos. So at least for the levels, I would say like 1 to 5, I don't see it really ever being a problem to get a group. So it's awesome to see, that kind of player density that we haven't seen in a while. Now the server isn't perfect. I've complained a bit about them allowing the store. While I understand why they're doing that from a business perspective, they probably want to allow the store because they don't want to put a cap on their revenue. They don't want to just charge a flat fee for people to play on the server, because they don't want that ceiling. They want people, they're big spenders, to be able to spend a bunch of money in the store. So I get that from a standpoint of a business standpoint, but I don't like it in terms of what it does to the leaderboards, which in my opinion makes them, it really undermines what they mean. When you can buy things in the store with real money that help you go up the leaderboard, it just, for me, it undermines the whole point of the leaderboard, despite the fact that you do still have to play very well and stay alive, whether you buy stuff from the store or not. Still, just having an advantage from the store is just something that I really dislike. But overall, what the server has done for the community is pretty freaking awesome. I think it's been extremely refreshing for me, at least, and I think other players have had the same experience. All of a sudden, it feels like it did in 10 years ago when we were all playing, when the population was higher, when all of us didn't have a million past lives and all this gear and everything. It's just, it feels like a weight lifted off when you can just start a new character from scratch on a new server and it not feel like a total waste of time. And that's honestly the best thing the server has done, is it has made starting a brand new character that's weak again feel like not a waste of time. And I've seen things like trade open up. I mean, people are trading things like low level scepters with like I traded with a guy who gave me a low level like fire lore, combustion of fire lore scepter for my warlock, and just trading for low level items like that is awesome. No one having shards, no one having shit buffs. All of a sudden, things like the kobold shamans and Rawdworks are extremely scary again. It's just opened up a lot of really long since dusty and retired avenues of fun, I guess you could say, that we all used to have in the game. It's kind of been a nostalgia trip for a lot of people, going back and playing this game from the perspective of honestly a new player, or when we were all starting out. Because at one time, everyone who played this game started out on a brand new 28-point character in Korthos, and I think all of us are kind of reliving the fun that we had way back in the day when we were all new players, because we all are starting our new characters, and we are playing like new players, and we're playing like new players again in a way that doesn't feel like a total waste of time. So yeah, guys, I have to say that I've really enjoyed the new server. I think that's been a big hit with, I think based on what I'm seeing, it's been a huge hit with the players, and I hope that they while it's not perfect, I hope that they do continue to bring this back maybe next year sometime, and cycle this in as maybe everything they do once or twice a year as a regular event. That would be really neat. And also, I hope they work to improve it. There's a lot of ways they could improve it, such as maybe consider putting different rules for next time. They could mix it up that way. Maybe next time there's no shit buffs. Although they probably won't do that, but yeah, whatever they can do to kind of switch up the rules, I do think they can do that. And also, one thing I want to see also is them offer more rewards. That's another complaint I guess I have to say, is the only rewards is 10 Reaper points, 20 Reaper points, which I think are reasonable, and then 5,000 favor and 1,750 favor, which I don't see very many people reaching that. Like 5,000 favor, like when you can't die once, that's a tall order. And so is even 1,750 is an extremely high order when you can't die and when you can't get favor over level at anything. Because again, there's I believe is a three level cap that you can't access quests at all if you're more than 3 levels over. So getting that favor is a tall order. So if they could do some other maybe a really small reward, like a little cloak or something when you get to level 10, or some kind of reward when you get to level 10 maybe, and maybe something of reward maybe at 500 favor, something like that, something that's probably more achievable for people. Although I still think they should have the super high rewards, obviously, to incentivize those who want a super challenge, which I know the players are out there. There are players out there who want that. So yeah, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up this kind of rambling segment, which is this is not a typical video of mine. I haven't made notes. Well, I wrote like 2 things down, but I haven't made extensive notes or anything. I'm just kind of recording this one off the cuff. So guys, let me know what you think about the server, and yeah, let me know if you're running it and how it's going for you. Have you died yet? What characters are you running? I would be interested in reading that. And if you've died, how did it happen? And have you enjoyed your time on the server? So guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you next time. Have a good one and take care.